Hey guys, Wolf here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. Remember how I said, I don't think I told you guys, yeah I did, that my skin's going to look dumb because I'm going to have, for Minecraft it's going to look dumb because it has to connect to my book. Well, before I'm going to have a hard time publishing this thing into docs because it's not even close to being, well it's close to being finished, but I still got to write a couple ending parts. So, anyways, guys, I'll be right back. I need to do something. Yeah, did it. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reading The Sons of Notch just so that way you get an idea of everything, why I'm banished, what's happening while I'm banished. So, let me just do it. I'm not sure if I should start from chapter 1, because if I do that, it's going to be like my whole first book and then all the way down. Okay. I will start at chapter 33, Aftermath, because that one is basically where it's banished and everything. So that way you'll get an idea, because everything else doesn't even matter. So, here we go. Chapter 33, Aftermath. What happened to everyone afterwards? Gary got a job as an archaeologist in order to protect players, and Notch had more stuff to make Minecraft to make it more adventurous. Chapter 34, 10 God Dragons. The world watched sadly as Gary jumped off the Aether to live on Earth. Craftus turned to Notch and yelled, "Why did you banish him? He did nothing wrong. He accidentally saw himself in the future." So this is just a little bit of background. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's too long. You could read it yourselves. But, basically I got banished because I saw myself in the future, aka me in the movies, killing the Ender Dragon with the Mushroom Man. Then, let's see. I'm not gonna read that part. Let's see. Okay, I'll read this part. Jin charged at Gary holding an iron dagger. He stabbed Gary in the chest and twisted the knife. Gary screamed in vain, then he was silent. Gary slumped over on the ground. Notch started crying. He picked up Gary's dead body, held it in it. Then Jin struck Makeshift. He also died. Notch then teleported everyone to the backup Aether. Okay, now this part's funny. This part, you will see how this part connects with my movies. Actually, you girls are gonna laugh at this. I'll let my iPad read chapter 43 and 44. Because these will be funny. Okay. Ready, guys? Guess you are. Since, well, you really don't have a choice. Well, you do. You could just quit the video and unsubscribe. But if you're subscribed to me, why would you unsubscribe? That would be weird. Okay, so here we go.
Chapter 43. Welcome to Aether Castle. Gary laughed and said, "Why didn't I do this sooner? Now I don't need these items to help me live." We've picked up the mask and gloves and he was about to put them back in a bag when Gary snatched them from him and said, "I want to keep these as memories." We've laughed and said, "Fine, but we need a place to live." Makeshift smiled and said, "Gary, teleport onto a platform in the sky." The Order looked at Makeshift, then Gary teleported Makeshift to the tower. Makeshift then made a new traveling Aether that was a castle. Gary teleported everyone to the castle and said, "Come on guys, you have to admit this place is better than the old Aether and look on the bright side, at least me and Makeshift are alive." Reith laughed and said, "So what does this place have?" Gary looked at Reith and said, "An assassin's training course, AOCD testing chamber, a dragon language class, a big dining hall, and each of our rooms represent our soul." Notch then looked around and said, "Wait, where is Harold Green's heart?" Gary chuckled nervously and said, "I have it." Notch looked at Gary and said, "Gary, give me the heart." Gary replied and said, "I can't, it's inside of me right next to my normal heart." Notch then backed away from Gary and said, "Wait, so you're possessed again?" Gary laughed and said, yes, it's worse than last time because I can feel Herobrine's evil black ender blood inside of me. All of a sudden Gary felt sick. He ran to his room and jumped on his bed. He looked at his hands and they were turning enderman black. When Notch walked into Gary's room and saw Gary, Notch screamed and ran out the door.
Guys, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. Something went wrong with the recording. It was glitching out right then, so like the recorder glitched. So yeah, so I'm not gonna read the rest. I'm not gonna let him read the rest of this part. I'm just gonna go ahead and read the last chapter that I have right now. And for those of you who liked Swarly when he was nice, you're gonna laugh at this part. Minos ran into the chamber and said, Dad, Gary, Craftus, you might want to see who's at the front door. He says he's looking for Gary. Gary ran to the front door and opened it up. When he looked to see who was there, it was Swarly, the mage that Gary traveled with when he was banished. She had also got possessed by Herobrine once. Swarly smiled and said, Gary, is that you? Why are you half Enderman? You look like a creature that should be in Shrek 5. Gary laughed and bro-fisted Swarly and said, I got more possessed, so how have you been? I see you're still like Shrek and Ducks because you're wearing the Shrek Duck clothes I got you. Swarly gave Gary a weird look and said, why wouldn't I? Shrek is love. Shrek is life. Gary fell over and started laughing so hard that he almost couldn't breathe. Swarly slapped Gary and said, stop being possessed, Giga Boy. Gary laughed some more and then he stopped and said, I'm not being possessed like that. I'm not possessed like that anymore. I'm laughing because you're making me laugh. Oh, okay. So you're saying if I do this, you will laugh, said Swarly. Gary gave Swarly a weird smile and said, do what? Swarly took a deep breath in and then he said, Giga Boy, Giga Boy, Giga Boy, Giga Boy, Giga Boy, Giga Drill Breaker! Gary collapsed on the floor and started laughing like crazy. He stood up and said, okay, you're still funny, but why are you here? Swarly laughed and then said, to go Bowser's on your Mr. 80s person over there. Gary's jaw dropped. Are you still evil? I thought I possessed you. You did. I was making a joke because whoever that guy is over there looks like an 80s person, said Swarly. Gary ran over to Craftus and said, everyone line up beside Craftus. All the guys did what Gary said. Gary introduced all the guys to Swarly, but when Swarly saw Notch, he bowed down to him and said, please, my lord Notch, please make me God. I want to be God of Shrek. Notch frowned and said, no, Swarly. No. Swarly stood up and asked why. Wait. Swarly stood up and asked why. Notch laughed and said, because you're a Timmy believer. You don't believe in me. Swarly laughed and said, not anymore. I believe in you now. Timmy banished me for slapping his pink hat off his head and replacing it with a Shrek Giga Boy hat that said, your Shrek will break the heavens, Giga Boy. So that's all I have right now. I don't feel like reading all 44 chapters. So when I finish with this, I'll just put it in, I'll just make a new video saying that I release this. And then you guys can read it. You guys can see everything and understand. Now, I just given you the basic backstory of everything. So now you guys should understand it. Yeah, so, yeah. You guys should understand everything. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm Wolf, and I'll see you guys later.